It is impossible to think of the world without electricity. According to statistics, the volume of electricity consumed in the world increases twice every 20 years. At present, worldwide electricity consumption is 2 terawatt. A total of 33 billion cars should run simultaneously in order to generate this volume of energy. Hundreds of power stations produce electricity all over the world. This energy is transported to users via cables stretching for billions of kilometers. We are so accustomed to cables that we hardly ever notice how many there are of them. Sometimes we actually forget about their existence. There are several ways for generating electricity, but new ways are invented as technology develops. Although there are different ways of generating electricity, there's only one way of delivering it to people: by cable. Just imagine a world without cables for a moment. This is unimaginable. So what is the structure of the cable without which the world is impossible to imagine? How are these cables produced? There's no need to go too far to find answers to these questions. We would like to introduce to you Goknur Baku Ltd, a company located in Zira settlement of Baku. One of the biggest cable manufacturers in Azerbaijan, Goknur Baku Ltd was founded in 2003. Covering an area of 20,000 square meters, the plant is fitted with modern equipment manufactured in Germany, Turkey, and Finland. Goknur Cable produces installation low and medium voltage, halogen-free, fire-resistant and overhead power transmission cables. The plant employs 200 people working in 3 shifts. The plant has set itself the goal of manufacturing quality products and providing excellent services to fully meet customer demand. Despite its relatively straightforward appearance, a closer look at its cross-section reveals that it's a rather complex structure. Cables undergo different stages to assume this appearance. The company produces cables with aluminum and copper wires, installation cables and cords, low and medium voltage cables, overhead power transmission cables. The simplest cable consists of 2 components: the conductor and insulation. Copper and aluminum are used as the conductor. The company purchases the most of raw materials for the production of cables from Russia, Turkey, and Europe. Copper is second only to silver in terms of conductivity. The first process of the cables, where we have copper conductor, is drawn from copper rod of 8 mm diameter up to copper wire of 0.2 mm diameter. To do this, the copper rod is placed behind a drawing line. This line draws the copper rod. The drawn and thinned wire is then spooling bobbins or winding into basket. Of course, all the processes are automated and carried out under the supervision of operators. It is possible to wind a total of 20 km of wire into the baskets weighing from 2,000 to 2,500 kilograms. For flexible conductor, the process of thinning copper wires do not end at that. At the same time, the wires drawing from different baskets are thinned further by another machine. The drawing lubricants, which are called as emulsion, is carried out heat transfer, reduction of friction, and cleaning of dyes. Right now, copper wires have been thinned by a multi-wires drawing line, and then sent to the next stage, the buncher. Here, the wires are twisted and flexible conductor is ready now. These type of cables are commonly used in households' electrical lines. They have an operating voltage of up to 1000 volts. Now we will have a look at the stage of insulation. Depending on the customer's request, different plastic mass and colors can be used. The plant mainly uses polyethylene and polyvinyl chloride as insulation. An insulating layer is applied to the surface of the conductor by extrusion. The diameter of insulated core is measured by using non-contact laser. It is then cooled through water channel. All inspections are automated. Then the core passes through spark tester to detect insulation defects. The insulated cable is wound onto the drum. The next step is double twist stranding machine, which twists the different colored insulated cores. This machine also strands the copper wires up to 16 square millimeters as conductor. Then the twisted cores are covered with powder by using electrostatic method in order to prevent stickings. Depending on the location and function of the cable, its outer surface is coated with a protective layer. Right now the cable is ready. This type of cables is mainly used in the construction of apartment and office buildings. As noted above, aluminum may also be used as a conductor alongside copper. Aluminum has lower conductivity than copper and silver. Due to the relatively low price, lightness and abundance, aluminum is widely used as a raw material for the production of cables. The process of production of aluminum conductor cable is similar to the production of copper conductor cable: thinning by drawing and spooling bobbins. This is a medium voltage cable of 35 kV. We note for comparison that this cable can provide electricity to an average settlement. Its insulating layer is made of cross-linked polyethylene. Cross-linked polyethylene cables made of a thermoset material have a number of advantages. The operating temperature of the cable is 90 degrees centigrade, while the short circuit temperature is 250 centigrade. To do this, bobbins with thinned copper or aluminum wires are placed onto the stranding machine. The conductor is stranded by twisting onto the machine. Depending on the customer's request, the different cross-sections conductors are then wound onto new drums. The label card describing the properties of the cables is attached to the drum. The drum is then transferred to a new line. Goknur Baku has a continuous insulation of cross-linked polyethylene line for medium voltage cables used in the world. All equipment of the line is fully automated and operated from a control room. The conductor is continuously discharged to the line from a double payoff, then goes to the main stage of the process. Cross-linked polyethylene insulation is mainly used in 6 to 35 kV medium voltage cables. Raw materials for the production of cross-linked polyethylene are imported from America, Europe, and the Far East. Goknur Baku mainly uses polyethylene manufactured in Europe and the Far East. The plastic granulate handling system takes care of the conveying of the insulation, granulates, and both drying and conveying of the semiconductive granulates. The dryer is intended to remove moisture from the raw material. From here, polyethylene is conveying into extrusion. The conductor is insulated by well-proven cross-linked polyethylene extruders and triple crossheads. The inner semiconductive screen, the insulation, and the outer semiconductive screen are subjected to 3-layered extrusion simultaneously. The structure and diameter of these layers is constantly observed by an X-ray dimension measurement system. The nitrogen generated in the nitrogen station is sent to the curing tube. The insulated core is cured in an inert pressurized atmosphere by heating the core to the cross-linking temperature. The temperature in the 48-meter curing tube varies between 300 and 450 degrees centigrade. The curing tube operates under pressurized about 10 bars nitrogen. Medium voltage cables stand out from others due to their reliability and durability. So these type of cables must be produced in clean, ambient conditions by special extruder system. After the cross-linking process, the insulated core is cooled in the 90-meter cooling tube by water circulation. The cooling is followed by the process of drying in special equipment. From here, the cross-linked insulated core is sent to the next production step. The next step is screening process. Screening layer could include some special tape depending on the customer's request. Both semiconductive crepe paper or semiconductive swelling tape, which is called water blocking tape, are mainly used under copper wire screening as protective barrier. Then the copper wires and helically copper tape is applied over protective barrier layer. The copper screen provides the grounding function. It conducts all fault current to prevent cable damage. The polyester tape could be applied to prevent penetration outer sheath plastic between the copper wires over copper screen. The last step involves covering the surface of the cable with a protective coating by extrusion. Depending on the customer's request, the outer sheath can be made of polyvinyl chloride plastic, polyethylene or fireproof halogen-free material. The extrusion process is conducted at a high temperature. The cable length is written on its surface. The information about the cable and the manufacturer is written on the outer sheath of the cable after passing through the cooling and drying sections. The cables having different colors and sizes are wound onto a drum for delivery to the customer. Of course, according to customer's request, it is also possible to produce armored cable with round or flat metallic wires. The cables which have metallic armor are resistant mechanical shocks and rodents. Before delivery to the customer, all cables are carried out voltage, partial discharge and conductor-resistant test as routine according to regulation or standards. The operator tests the cable at high voltage as using termination oil cable ends. All electrical properties of the cable are measured and defects identified by means of electronic equipment. In addition, cables are checked and tested at every manufacturing process step according to standards and quality plans at the internal laboratory. Goknur Baku has TSEN ISO 9001-2008 Quality Management System and AZ Standard National Certificate of Conformity, as well as the OHSAS 18001-2007 Certificate of Occupational Health and Safety Management. Through our experience, we can produce suitable cables for structure of BS, IEC, VDE, TSE standards with cable designs according to customer specifications and project. Goknur Baku pays continuous attention to quality assurance and continues to receive certificates of compliance with leading world standards. Governed by the principle of high-quality production, Goknur Baku Ltd. also exports its products to Georgia, Russia, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, and Kazakhstan. The rapid economic development enables not only an increase in the demand for cable products, but also requires production of new and high-quality types of wires and cables. Goknur Baku Ltd. provides a guarantee for the quality of its products. The dynamic development of Azerbaijan's economy, in addition to many other factors, is also associated with power engineering. The reforms carried out in the power engineering sector have enhanced the economic and technical performance of the country. As a result of these successful economic and social policies, the economy is rapidly developing. All of the country's social and economic projects are underpinned by the human factor. All of these projects serve the well-being of the people. Goknur Baku Ltd., which seeks to become a leading cable manufacturer of the regional area, is always guided by quality and innovation. Goknur Baku, have plenty of light.